Listen carefully to this truth, because it may change the way you see love forever. Most relationships do not collapse in a single day. Most marriages do not suddenly explode overnight. Love rarely dies in a dramatic moment. Love dies quietly. Love dies slowly. Love dies in silence. Not because two people stopped loving each other, but because they ignored small things that were quietly poisoning the relationship every single day. You see, many people think love is destroyed by betrayal, cheating, or a major fight. But the truth is far more dangerous than that. Love is usually destroyed by things that look small. Small attitudes, small habits, small words, small neglect. And because they look small, people ignore them until one day they wake up and realize the love that once felt powerful has become cold, distant, and unfamiliar. So the question is, not just do you love each other? The real question is this: are you protecting your love from the silent destroyers that slowly kill it? Today we will uncover 5 things that destroy love slowly. The things most people miss until it is too late. Love is one of the most powerful forces God placed in the human heart. Love builds homes. Love builds families. Love builds generations. But love, although powerful, is also fragile. It must be protected. It must be nurtured. It must be guarded with wisdom. You see, many people know how to start a relationship, but very few people know how to sustain love over time. Anyone can fall in love, but not everyone knows how to stay in love. Because staying in love requires awareness. It requires discipline. It requires intentional behavior. The deal with power is great for them. One love, old, where. If you ignore the things that slowly destroy love, the relationship will eventually suffer, even if both people have good intentions. And today we are going to expose 5 silent destroyers of love that most couples overlook. Let me teach you something very important. Love is not sustained by feelings. Feelings start love, but they do not sustain love. Love is sustained by daily choices. Every day, you either build love or weaken it. Every conversation builds love or weakens it. Every attitude builds love or weakens it. Every habit builds love or weakens it. And over time, those choices accumulate. Small negative patterns, repeated over months or years, eventually become emotional distance. And emotional distance is the real enemy of love. Now, let us talk about the 5 things that slowly destroy love. The first silent destroyer of love is neglect. Neglect is dangerous because it is rarely intentional. Nobody wakes up and says, "Today I will ignore my partner." It happens gradually. You become busy with work, busy with responsibilities, busy with life. And slowly the attention that once fueled the relationship begins to disappear. Conversations become shorter. Affection becomes less frequent. Quality time becomes rare. And the partner who once felt valued begins to feel invisible. Love cannot survive where attention disappears. Because attention is the oxygen of love. Let me illustrate this with a simple picture. Imagine a beautiful plant. At the beginning, you water it daily. You protect it from harsh weather. You give it sunlight, and it grows beautifully. But one day you become busy. You forget to water it for a day, then 2 days, then a week. You did not intentionally try to kill the plant, but neglect slowly drained the life out of it. Relationships work the same way. When attention disappears, love begins to dry up. The second destroyer of love is lack of appreciation. One of the greatest human needs is the need to feel valued. When someone feels appreciated, they naturally give more love. But when appreciation disappears, people begin to feel taken for granted. And nothing kills love faster than feeling like your effort no longer matters. When someone cooks for you, appreciate it. When someone sacrifices for you, appreciate it. When someone supports you, acknowledge it. Because appreciation multiplies love, but silence slowly suffocates it. Now, here is a deeper truth many people do not understand. Love does not die because people stop caring. Love dies because people stop expressing care. There is a difference. You may still care deeply about someone, but if you stop expressing appreciation, affection, and attention, the other person may never feel it. Unexpressed love feels like absence. That is why words matter. That is why gestures matter. That is why intentional connection matters. Application. So how do we protect love from these silent destroyers? You must become intentional. Do not wait until love fades before you act. Create habits that strengthen the relationship. Talk regularly. Express gratitude daily. Prioritize quality time. Listen deeply. Protect emotional connection. Love grows where effort exists. Now let us talk about the third destroyer of love. This one is extremely dangerous. The third destroyer of love is constant criticism. Correction is necessary in relationships, but constant criticism creates emotional wounds. When someone feels constantly judged, they stop feeling safe. And love cannot thrive where safety disappears. People flourish in environments where they feel accepted, but they withdraw in environments where they feel attacked. So instead of constantly pointing out faults, learn to build each other up. Encourage growth. Encourage progress. Encourage effort. Because encouragement strengthens love. Criticism weakens it. The fourth destroyer of love is lack of communication. Many relationships do not end because of conflict. They end because of silence. People stop talking. They stop sharing their thoughts. They stop expressing their feelings. And when communication disappears, misunderstanding begins to grow. Silence creates distance. Conversation creates connection. The fifth destroyer of love is unresolved resentment. When conflicts are ignored instead of resolved, bitterness begins to grow. And bitterness slowly poisons love. Forgiveness is not weakness. Forgiveness is wisdom. Because resentment will eventually destroy both the relationship and the emotional health of the people involved. Hear this clearly. Love is not maintained by chance. Love is maintained by conscious decisions. Where appreciation lives, love grows. Where communication flows, love strengthens. Where forgiveness exists, love heals. But let me take this even deeper, because there is something many people do not understand about love. Love is not just a feeling. Love is an environment. And environments are created by the attitudes we cultivate every day. If you plant seeds of respect, appreciation, patience, and kindness, the environment of your relationship becomes safe, warm, and life-giving. But if you plant seeds of neglect, criticism, silence, and resentment, the environment becomes cold, hostile, and exhausting. And listen carefully to this. People may stay in a toxic environment for a while, but eventually their heart will begin to shut down. That is why many couples say something that sounds strange at first. They say, "I still care about you, but I no longer feel the same." What they are really saying is this: my heart became tired of fighting for love in an environment where love was not protected. You see, love does not only need passion. Love needs protection. Love needs intentional care. Love needs wisdom. Let me tell you something powerful. The strongest marriages are not the ones that never face problems. The strongest marriages are the ones where both people refuse to allow problems to destroy their connection. They refuse to allow pride to win. They refuse to allow bitterness to grow. They refuse to allow distance to become normal. They fight for the relationship. They fight for the love they once celebrated. And this is where many people make a critical mistake. They think love should always feel easy. But the truth is this: anything valuable must be protected. Your health must be protected. Your purpose must be protected. Your peace must be protected. And love must also be protected. Because if you do not guard what is valuable, life will slowly take it away. Now listen carefully to this revelation. Most people spend more time protecting their phone, money, and career than they spend protecting their relationship. They protect their passwords, they protect their investments, they protect their business opportunities. But they neglect the one thing that has the power to give their life emotional stability: their relationship. And when love begins to weaken, they are surprised. But the truth is this: what you fail to protect will eventually deteriorate. So if you want love to last, you must become a guardian of the relationship. Guard your words, guard your attitude, guard the emotional environment you create. Guard the connection between you and your partner. Because relationships rarely collapse from one massive event. They collapse from hundreds of small moments that slowly erode the connection between two hearts. Let me say something very powerful here. Many people believe that the opposite of love is hatred, but that is not entirely true. The real opposite of love is indifference. When someone hates you, they still feel something. But when someone becomes indifferent, the emotional connection has started to disappear.